You know, there was a comment recently that was on the fake nail video that I did, the how-to video that I posted a few weeks ago. I decided at the last minute to do that video because I was getting ready to do my nails. And I thought that would be a great video because so many of you have asked that I actually show you step by step by step rather than just tell you about it. So there was really no preparation for it, none. I just sat down and filmed it, bare arms and all. One of you, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it was meant out of love, but you reminded me that I do sometimes use some arm and leg makeup. Immediately my mind went to that, oh, I shouldn't have shown my arms like that, my bad. Then I told myself that very thing was the reason so many of you watch my channel. I'm truly myself in my videos. I'm real. And you tell me that's why you watch, because you can relate to my realness. And it made me think about being real and what it really means and how my body has changed in so many ways over the past few years. Picture this. A few days ago, one day last week, I was getting out of my car, had my purse over this shoulder, just slung it up over my shoulder, had shopping bags in both hands. All of a sudden, my purse strap slid down. It caught my forearm really hard. I knew what was coming. I knew immediately what was coming. And there it was, right there. See a thing? Yeah. Whoops. Right there. A bruise. A bruise. Not a little one either. It was one of those big, dramatic purple ones that make you look like you lost a wrestling match with your purse strap, which is what I did. But here's the strange part. I'm now at an age where any little bump will cause a bruise. When I was younger, bruises usually came with a story. I fell off my bike. I stepped into a hole. I walked into a door frame because I wasn't paying attention. I remembered exactly when it happened. But something else happens at a certain age. Bruises seem to appear like mysterious little overnight visitors. Then I woke up the other morning and I saw this brand new one right above my wrist. Well, hello there, and where did you come from? I stood there looking at it for a minute, and I had the same thought I've heard so many women say over the years. Oh my goodness, my arms look terrible. The bruises, there are enough bruises and sunspots on my arms that my grandchildren could connect the dots. And I'll be honest, for a moment there, I actually felt a little self-conscious about it. I mean, there's now 2 of them. But then something funny happened. Another thought came into my mind. What if I'm looking at this all wrong? What if, instead of seeing something ugly, because you know I've been calling these ugly bruises for a long time, but just what if I started seeing something completely different? Because you know, the truth is, most of these bruises and spots show up after a lifetime of living. Years of sunshine, years of working and carrying things and bumping into furniture and gardening and cooking and hugging people we love, just being active in the world. So I stood there looking at my arms and I thought, you know what? I'm not calling these ugly bruises anymore. From now on, I'm calling them beauty marks because they only show up after a life that's been fully lived. There's something else I started thinking about when I looked at my arms. These arms, they've been around for a long time. And when I really stop and think about it, they've done a whole lot more than just bump into things. They've done a lifetime of work and love. These arms have carried suitcases through airports, They've cooked thousands of meals. They've hugged their friends. They've wiped away tears, mine and other people's. They've held babies. They've worked hard. And suddenly I realized something. All these little marks we notice when we get older, they're not just signs of aging. They're signs of a life that was actually lived. Because the truth is, bodies that have never lived very much probably don't have many marks on them. But bodies that have lived, that have loved, that have helped people, carried things, taken care of their families, planted some flowers, our bodies tell stories. And maybe that's the part we forget. When we're younger, we admire smooth, beautiful skin. But when we've lived long enough, what we really have is story skin. Every little line, every little spot, every little bruise, every one of those beauty marks tell a story. They're a part of the story that says, I was here. I lived this life. And honestly, I think that's a beautiful thing. Of course, I'm going to still take care of myself. I'm going to moisturize, protect my skin from the sun. I'll try to be gentle with my body that I've carried for so many years. But I'm also giving myself something that many women forget to give themselves. Because aging is not something that happened to me by mistake. It's something I'm lucky enough to have reached. Not everyone gets this far. So the next time I notice one of those mysterious bruises, and by the way, just this morning, we have another one right there. But instead of saying, oh, that just looks awful, maybe I'll try saying something else. Maybe I'll say, well, look at that, another colorful chapter in my story. Or maybe I'll say, well, look at that, must have been very active yesterday. Because that's really what it is. My body is simply telling a story of a life that has been lived. And you know what? I think that's something to be proud of. So if I happen to see an older woman this summer wearing a sleeveless top with a few little purple badges on her arms, I'm not going to assume that she's embarrassed. She might just be thinking, these are my beauty marks, and I've earned every one of them. Or she may have her arms covered, and that's okay too. I was thinking about some celebrities that we all know who are aging right along with us. Have you noticed Dolly Parton never shows her hands or her arms? But she has the cutest fingerless gloves and these jewels that go across her hands that match every outfit she owns. I can just imagine her closet. She probably has one of those special shelves or drawers that displays all of those cute little gloves. And I can just see her standing there lovingly selecting just the right pair for that day and that outfit, just like I do my shoes. And the other day, I saw Martha Stewart selling garden supplies on QVC. She was wearing one of her signature shirts with those 3/4 length sleeves, and during close-ups, I could see beauty marks on her hands and arms. So, if you're watching this and you've been hiding your arms because of your well-earned beauty marks, maybe it's time to show them off instead. Or not. Maybe this summer, we older women make a little agreement. We stop hiding our arms, unless we want to. And I may choose to wear my leg and arm makeup from time to time, or I may not. I worked hard in my younger years to have that beautiful tan skin, so why shouldn't I not have it now too when I want to? I want to thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate you more than you could ever know. Remember to be kind. Be kind to yourself so that you can be kind to others. Remember, too, that life leaves a few marks, and they're beautiful. I love you. Bye-bye.